right, guys. So last week we started talking about verb tenses. So remember that a verb tense tells us when something happened. A verb is an action word, and the tense tells us when that action happened. And so we've talked about the past tense of a verb, the present tense, and the future tense. So past tense means it already happened. It happened yesterday, or it happened last year, or it happened in kindergarten, or it happened 3 minutes ago. It could mean whenever, something other than before right now. Present tense means it's happening right now. As we speak, it is happening. Future tense means anything after right now. So it could happen tomorrow, or it could happen when you're 15 years old, or it could happen after your mom gets home. Anything that's after right now, okay? So we talked about those guys, and now we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to talk about these. So we're going to talk about sometimes verbs in the past tense break the rules. All right. So we talked about most verbs, right? Whenever we're talking about the past tense, a good way that you can know that a verb is in the past tense is if it ends in ed. So if it ends in ed, it usually means it happened in the past, but not always. So just because a verb doesn't end in that doesn't mean it's not a past tense verb. So we're going to talk about a couple of those, and we're going to put them into some sentences, and then you're just going to have this to practice, right? So this is a great chart to use to remember some of these irregular past tense verbs. So let's check them out. I'm going to get my handy dandy highlighter, and I'm just going to pick a couple of them, a couple of really common ones that you really need to know. So we're going to talk about this one right here. Say. So if I'm saying something, I would say she says, right? That would be in the present tense. The future tense would be she will say this tomorrow. But the past tense is weird. It's different, okay? I'm going to pick another little guy. Okay, so got this handy dandy red arrow. So say is the verb. Said is the past tense. I wouldn't say she said that yesterday, right? So if it sounds weird, if you put ed on the end and it sounds weird, it probably isn't the right way to say that verb. It may be an irregular past tense verb. So let's put this in a sentence. I'm gonna use red. I would say we can even practice our quotation marks right now, because we know that said indicates that someone is speaking. So I could say Hudson said, remember when I'm doing quotation marks, I always have to do a comma. Hudson said, I want pizza. I want pizza. Got my quotation marks around what Hudson said. So our regular past tense verb is said. All right. So again, it would not be Hudson said, right? That would be if I just added ed to the end. That does not work. Let's get our eraser and erase that. All right, let's talk about another really good, common little past tense irregular verb. We have, where did it go? Know. The verb know in the past tense becomes knew. And guys, a lot of times people say this in their writing, right? They would say, I knowed that she loves the color yellow, right? So they may say that, but that is not correct, okay? So we would say, sorry about that, 1 second. I would say Brecklin knew that answer. Brecklin knew that answer. So I wouldn't say Brecklin knowed that answer. I would say Brecklin knew that answer. That's an irregular past tense verb. Another one, we're going to go over a couple more. And again, you can just look at this chart and know some of these regular past tense. I just wanted to use them in some sentences so that you would recognize, oh yeah, that doesn't sound right whenever I just put ed on the end. So we could say, let's look at this one. Let's look at think. Oh, she didn't think something, she thought something, right? So we could say, Bo, whoops, Miss Hargrove, that is not a pen. Here we go. Bo thought today was Saturday. I would not say Bo thinked, right? Bo thinked today was Saturday. Nope. I would say Bo thought today was Saturday. All right, we're going to go over one more. So our last one we're going to go over is wrote. So the verb would be write. The past tense would be wrote, not righted. She didn't righted that. She wrote that. All right, so we would say story. One second. We would say story wrote a story. Story wrote a story. And the past tense would be wrote. Story did not write it a story. Story wrote a story. Okay? So those are some irregular past tense verbs. So just be aware that not every verb is going to end in ed when it's in the past tense. So when in doubt, think, oh, that doesn't sound right. So really listen as you're doing your writing especially and think, is that how I would say that if I were talking? And if it's not how you would say it, think, how else would I say that this happened in the past? And here's a good chart to help you think about that. Thanks for watching, guys.